This is the Haftarah, the weekly reading of the prophets for the Parsha of Beshalach. And in this week's Parsha, there is a difference in custom between the Ashkenazic tradition and the Sephardic tradition. It's basically the same, it's from the same source, which is Judges chapter 5, but it's also chapter 4 because the Ashkenazic tradition is to start from Judges 4, verse 4, and continue on to 5. The Sephardic tradition starts from verse 5, and they both end at 31. So, since it's a fairly long Haftarah, I'm going to split it into two. And the first part will be from the Ashkenazic tradition, meaning starting at 4, 4. And then part 2 will be where the Sephardim start from, although the Ashkenazim are continuing on to there, and to where they both end at 31. So this will just be 4, verse 4 until the end of the chapter, which will be 4, verse 24. And then continue on to the end, where they both end at the same place. And this is Judges chapter 4, verse 4. Udivora isha nevi'ah eshet lapidot hi shofta et Yisrael ve'et hahi. Now Devorah was a woman, prophetess, the wife of Lapidot. She judged Israel at that time. V'hi Yosheves, I should probably read it Ashkenazic, right? Because it's Ashkenaz. So I'll read the Ashkenazic pronunciation. V'hi Yosheves tachas tomer Devorah, bein harama bein beis el bahar Ephraim, ve'alu aleha b'nei Yisrael l'mishpat. And she sat under the palm tree of Devorah, between Ramah. Okay, so now Devorah was a woman prophetess, the wife of Lapidot. She judged Israel at that time. That's verse 4. Verse 5 is, and she sat under the palm tree of Devorah, between Ramah and Bethel, in the mountain of Ephraim, and the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. Vatishlach, not sure if I read the full 5, so V'hi Yoshevet tachat tomer Devorah ben Ramah ben Beit El Bahar Ephraim v'yalu eleha b'nei Yisrael l'mishpat. Okay, that's 5. Vatishlach vatikra leBarak ben Avinoam mikedesh Naphtali v'tomer elav halo tziva Adonai Elohei Yisrael lech umashachta behar tavor ולקחת עמך 10,000 איש מבני נפתלי ומבני זבולun. And she sent and called Barak son of Avinoam of Kedesh Naphtali. And she said to him, indeed, the Lord God of Israel commanded, go and draw toward Mount Tabor and take with you 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun. Umashachti alecha el nachal Kishon et Sisra sar tzeva Yavin v'et Richbo v'et Hamono unetatihu biyadecha. And I shall draw to you to the brook of Kishon, Sisra, the chieftain of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his multitude, and I will give him into your hand. Vayomer alea Barak im telchi imi v'halachti v'im lo telchi imi lo elech. And Barak said to her, if you will go with me, then I shall go up, and if you will not go with me, I shall not go up. Vatomer halach elech imach efes kiluyem tifartecha al haderech asher אתה הולך, כי ביד אישה ימכור אדוני את סיסרא, ותקם דבורה, ותלך עם ברק קדשה. Kedosha. I think. She said, I shall surely go with you, but your glory will not be on the way which you go. For into the hand of a woman will the Lord deliver Sisera. And Devorah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. Vayizak Barak et Zevulun vet Naphtali Kedesha. Vayal Baraglav Aseret Alefeh Ish Vata'al Imo Devorah. And Barak gathered Zevulun. Vayizak means screaming, but maybe they translated here gathered. And Barak, maybe it means gathered by calling them out. Gathered Zevulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and 10,000 men went up at his feet, and Devorah went with him. Chever Keni, Nifrad Mikain, Mibnei Chovav, Choten Moshe, Vayet Ahalo, Adelon Betzananim, Asher Lo Kadesh. Now Heber the Kenite was separated from the Kenites of the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, and he pitched his tent as far as Elon Batsananim, Asher Kadesh. And he pitched his tent as far as Elon Batsanim, which is by Kadesh. And they told Sisera that Barak, the son of Avinoam, had gone up to Mount Tabor. ויזעק סיסרא את כל רכבו 900 רכב ברזל ואת כל העם אשר איתו מחרשת הגויים אל נחל קישון. And Sisera gathered all his chariots, 900 iron chariots, and all the people that were with him, from Haroshet Goyim to the brook Kishon. Vatomer Devorah el Barak, Kum, ki ze hayom asher nasan Adonai et Sisera biyadecha, halo Adonai yatsa lifanecha, vayered Barak mehar Tavor, v'aseret alafim ish acharav. And Devorah said to Barak, Rise, for this is the day which the Lord has given Sisera into your hand. Did not the Lord go out before you? And Barak went down from Mount Tabor with 10,000 men after him. Vayaham Adonai Sisera v'et kol harechav v'et kol hamachane lefi cherev lifnei Barak v'yered Sisera me'ar amerkava v'yanes beraglav. And the Lord confused Sisera and all the chariots and all the camp with the edge of the sword before Barak. And Sisera alighted from his chariot and fled on foot. Ubarak radaf acharei harechev acharei machane ad chareshet hagoyim v'yipol kol machane Sisera lefi cherev lo nishar ad echad. And Barak pursued the chariots in the camp to Charoshet Goyim, and all of Sisera's camp fell by the edge of the sword. Not even one was left. The Sisera nas beraglav el haoel v'yael eshet chever keni ki shalom ben Yavin melech Chatzor uben chever keni. And Sisera fled on foot to the tent of Yael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. For there was peace between Jabin the king of Hazor and the house of Heber the Kenite. Vatetse Yael likrat Sisra vatomer elav Sura Adoni Sura Elai al tira v'yaser aleha ha'ohela v'techaseh v'shvicha. And Yael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, "Turn in, my lord, turn in to me, fear not." And he turned into her tent, and she covered him with a garment. Vayomer elav hashkini na miat mayim, ki tzemeti v'tiftach et neod chalav v'tashkeo echseo. And he said to her, "Give me now a little water to drink, for I am thirsty." And she opened the flask of milk and gave him drink, and covered him. Vayomer eleha amod petach haoel, vaya im ish yavo ushelech v'amar hayesh po ish v'marta ayin. And he said to her, "Stand in the doorway of the tent, and it shall be, if any man comes and asks you and says, 'Is a man here?' then you shall say, 'There is not.'" Vayikach Vatikach Yael eshet chever et yetad haohel vatasem et hamakevet biada vatavo elav belat vatitka et ayeted berakato vatitznach baaretz Vehu nirdam vayaf vayamot. And Yael, the wife of Heber, took the tent pin and placed the hammer in her hand, and came and dealt. It came to him stealthily, and thrust the pin into his temple, and it pierced through into the ground, and he was in a deep sleep and weary, and he died. V'hineh Barak rodef et Sisra v'tetze Yael likrato v'tomer lo lech erech et ha'ish asher ta mevakesh v'yavo elea v'hineh Sisra nofel met, vayeted berakato. And behold, Barak pursued Sisera, and Yael came out to meet him. And she said to him, "Come, and I will show you the man whom you seek." And he came to her, and behold, Sisera lay dead, and the pin was in his temple. Vayachnea Elohim bayom hahu et Yavin melech Canaan lifnei bnei Israel. And God subdued on that day Jabin the king of Canaan before the children of Israel. V'atirich yad bnei Israel halach v'kasha al Yavin melech Canaan ad asher ichritu et Yavin melech Canaan. And the hand of the children of Israel prevailed constantly harder against Jabin the king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Jabin, king of Canaan. This concludes chapter 4. The section that is started by Ashkenazim, and we'll continue in next video with next part of this with the place where the Sephardic tradition starts from.